Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back and I'm going to kickstart this video with some cooking clips and then we'll transition into the grocery hauls. So this is what I'm working with and I'm actually cooking this in a different pan. It's kind of one of those portable pans. That way it's a bit easier for me to film for you guys. The sausages were quite thick, so I actually split them down the middle so it's easier to cook. Chucked in some spinach, mushrooms, feta, top it off with a bit of salad and balsamic glaze, and that was a really nice lunch. So because we had quite a bit of leftovers from the previous meal, I wanted to use it all up. So I made a similar type meal with a bit of variation. I've got some lamb and the eggplant. My partner's colleague actually gave that to us from their garden. So I threw that into the meal as well. I've really been loving the balsamic glaze, which you guys will see in the grocery haul. The next morning, I actually made some green tea for myself and my partner. We were both working from home, and brekkie-wise, I had a blueberry bagel with some cream cheese, and so did he. For lunch, we had a simple chicken snits with some avocado and balsamic glaze. And after that, we had a bit of yogurt and raspberries, which were really good. The yogurt was actually from Costco. Dinner time now. We've got some mushrooms, some markdown bacon, spinach, leftover milk, onions, feta, and cream cheese. Spinach, my dad bought a huge bucket from Costco, so he gave us some. Same with the yogurt, he bought a huge bucket and he gave us some of that as well. So I start by sauteing my onions in probably about a teaspoon of olive oil. Then I chuck in my mushrooms, cook that through. Then I check in my markdown bacon, which was so good. It was already pre-cut. The quality of the bacon was actually very good as well. So if I see that on markdown next time, I would definitely be grabbing a few more. Veggie wise, you can really throw in anything you want. I personally love having mushrooms and spinach in my creamy bacon pastas. That's just my personal preference, and that just happened to be what I had at home as well. So I wanted to use up these ingredients. Now it does look like a lot of spinach, but once you cook it through, it wilts and you barely even notice it. And I'm actually trying to incorporate more leafy greens into my meals as well. And spinach is just so easy to chuck into any meal, really. You can chuck it into stir fries, pastas, even instant noodles. Now, I did have a little bit of leftover Danish feta, so I kind of just crumbled that and chucked it in as well. That'll be part of my sauce. I did base the sauce on milk. You can thicken that with some flour if you like. On this day, I didn't bother with that. I kind of just let the milk reduce down, and I did add in, I think, probably about a tablespoon of cream cheese, but that's only because that's what I had on hand because I had bagels and I had some leftover cream cheese. So I just wanted to utilize that in the pasta sauce as well. In the meantime, I'm just waiting for my pasta to boil, then I will strain it and chuck it into my sauce. Let me know if you guys enjoy this footage better of me cooking in a portable pot. Anyways, that's the finished product. Next meal, I've got some leftover Chinese cabbage, some spring onions from the garden, and some more lamb chunks from the freezer. I've also got some leftover okra, so I'm going to chuck that into the stir fry as well. Okra can be a little bit slimy, that's just the way it is. So I'm starting to fry that off a little bit first in a bit of oil, and then I chuck in my Chinese cabbage, stir fry that a little, chuck in the lamb, add some oyster sauce, spring onions, and that's pretty much my dinner.
Hi guys, we just landed back in Sydney today and I'd done a very quick grocery haul because we are pretty tired. So I grabbed some frozen prawns from my local Asian grocer, grabbed some pork and mushroom balls as well. I think this was $10 for 430 grams and this was about $26 for 700 grams. Normally I like to buy fresh prawns and peel them myself, but I am tired today. Grabbed some okra, that's going to be for my hot pot. Bananas, and persimmon fruit. Persimmons was $6 a kilo, banana was $2.50, okra was $4 a tray. This is all from my local green grocer. Avocados were 3 for $6, which was pretty decent compared to Coles and Woolies. Chinese cabbage was a little bit expensive, especially since I'm expecting this to be in season soon. It was, I think, $6 for this womba cabbage, and they are normally a bit bigger. Also grabbed some carrots there for $1.99 a kilo. I grabbed some flat rice noodles and thinly sliced beef for my hot pot as well. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this is my first clearance grocery haul ever since I've landed back home in Sydney. I picked up some chicken schnitzels, which are on clearance, $12.50 to $2.75. Bonus is they are organic. Now, if I don't end up using these pretty much today or tomorrow, they'll go in the freezer. They are a convenient item to have on the side as well. I'll either top them with some salad or a wrap or a burger, depending on what I feel like during the week. Also grabbed some mushrooms, which were on clearance. I'm probably going to saute this with a bit of onion and garlic and do an egg scramble on the side for a breakfast. I also grabbed a few bags of iceberg lettuce, which were marked down to 40 cents. Now, a whole head of lettuce was actually $5, so this is way more convenient and is cheaper, and it looks quite fresh to me actually. And I do have some marked down proteins in the freezer I'll need to use up. Things like lamb chunks, which I can season, fry it off, top it on the lettuce. Also picked up some feta for my salads, and this is a new item, a balsamic glaze, which was $4. Keen to try that. And this was on clearance for $1 at Coles in the fridge section. There were a couple of them, but I only grabbed one. And then we also grabbed some treats. Not really good for the diet, but sometimes we give in. There is a fresh cream and apple turnover, and there is also a banoffee. I think normally these are $5 and I'm on clearance for $1.10. And that's all I have for you today, but I'll include some other clips as well. So guys, we popped by the shops after the gym just to pick up a few items, and can you believe all of this costed about $25? These oranges were $3.50 a kilo at Woolies. The sugar was $1.80 for a kilo at Coles. I don't normally buy sugar, but I have picked up some matcha powder. So I need some sugar to make my little matcha lattes at home. The milk was, I think, $4.35 for 3 liters at Coles. Grapes were about $6. I normally like to get it at my green grocer, but we didn't have time and I need more fruit for the week, so we just picked up some grapes. Raspberries were $3.50, and these blueberry bagels were on sale for $4 at Woolies, so I figured that's a bit of a treat, with some cream cheese, which was $2.90. At Coles, I did pick up some, what are they called? Bacon pieces, maybe, for $1.87. It was $6.24. That's probably going to go in the freezer, and then when I make a creamy bacon pasta, I'll pull it out and add this to the mix.
I also wanted to send out a friendly reminder, guys. I have launched my members page on YouTube, and that's where I'll be including more of my personal videos, such as what I do on the weekend, some vlogs during the week. So if you are interested in that, please go ahead and check that out.